Nouse was getting ready for work. He slipped into his suit and headed downstairs. His mother, Miss Magide, was on the phone with her best friend. During the call, the friend mentioned that her daughter Nina was returning from abroad. Excited, Miss Magide declared that Nina and Nouse would make a perfect couple. After the call, she told Noose about Nina's return and said she wanted them to meet. Noose wasn't sure. He said he didn't even know Nina and wasn't certain he would like her, but his mother was confident they'd have enough time to know each other and believed they were meant to be together. Later that day in the parking lot, Noose saw a beautiful girl walking past. Her name was Anna. She caught his eye immediately. His friend Tunde noticed him staring and encouraged him to talk to her, but Noose brushed it off. During lunch, Tunde briefly stepped away, and as Noose waited outside, he saw Anna again, this time talking to the watchman. He couldn't help but stare. When Tunde returned and caught him, he pushed him once again to approach her. Noose denied it, pretending to be interested in something else. At lunch, they met up with their friend Obina. Noose revealed to them that he was set to marry Nina in an arranged setup. His friends were surprised and concerned. Obina questioned the logic behind marrying someone he hadn't even met. Nouse said he had seen her pictures, found her beautiful, and believed they would have time to bond when she returned. Obina warned him that beauty alone wouldn't sustain a marriage. Tunde added that Noose was clearly more interested in Anna, the girl he had been staring at. He reminded Noose how they once waited for hours outside her shop, hoping to see her, only to be told later by the watchman that she had left early. But Noose insisted he would go along with his mother's wishes, trusting her judgment completely. Soon after, Nina arrived in the country. Miss Magide encouraged Noose to call her and arrange a meeting. That evening, they met at a hotel. Nina seemed impressed with Noose at first, but during the dinner, the waiter accidentally dropped cutlery. Without hesitation, Nina slapped the waitress and hurled insults, calling her lazy and demanding to speak to the manager. Nouse tried to defuse the situation, saying it was a simple mistake. Nina became upset, feeling disrespected, and insisted they leave. Later, Noose told his mother what happened. She dismissed it as jet lag and stress. He didn't press the issue further. When he later told his friends, they were shocked. Tunde called it a major red flag. Obina warned him again, but Noose tried to defend her, saying it might have been a one-time thing. On their next date, Nina complained about egusi soup, calling it disgusting. Noose told her it was his favorite. She didn't seem to care, telling him to find a new favorite because she could never cook it or even stand the smell. Throughout the date, she talked endlessly about her own life, without once asking about his. Noose began to reflect. It was becoming clear that Nina had no interest in knowing or understanding him. She cared only about her wants. Later, while playing pool with Obina, Noose admitted the date was awful. He said Nina was selfish and controlling. Obina reminded him that everyone knew how much he loved egusi soup and warned him again that marrying her would be a mistake. But Noose still insisted he couldn't disappoint his mother. Despite his doubts, the relationship continued. Miss Magide gave him the ring his father had once used to propose. She told him it was time to propose to Nina. Noose hesitated. It had only been a month, but Miss Magide pushed him, saying she had known Nina's family for years and trusted her completely. Reluctantly, Noose proposed. Nina immediately accepted and announced it all over social media. His friends were stunned. Obina reminded him that he was the one marrying Nina, not his mother, and warned him to think carefully about what came next. Everything changed when Noose saw Anna walking home. He offered her a ride, asked for her number, and invited her to dinner. They had a wonderful evening. When the waiter spilled a drink on Anna by mistake, she remained calm and kind. Noose was impressed. Their connection grew quickly. The next day, Noose told Tunde about the date. It had been incredible. He and Anna connected on everything. Tunde smiled. He hadn't seen Nouse this excited in a long time. Not once had he talked about Nina with this kind of happiness. Tunde told him not to marry her, but Nouse said he had to. It's what his mother wanted. As days passed, Noose and Anna grew closer. They went on dates, shared meals, had picnics in the park, and spent long nights talking. With each moment, their bond deepened. One afternoon, Miss Magide passed by Noose's room. She overheard him on the phone. "I miss you. I love spending time with you." She smiled to herself, assuming he was talking to Nina. Later, while sitting in the car with Tunde, Noose scrolled through Anna's photos. Tunde said it aloud. He was clearly falling in love with Anna, yet he was about to get married. He asked Nouse when he planned to end things. Soon, Nouse replied. Meanwhile, Nina was growing frustrated. She complained to Miss Magad that Nouse had missed 5 wedding rehearsals, skipped his suit fitting, and wasn't answering her calls. That same day, Nouse was with Anna. His phone rang. It was his mother. Anna stepped out of the car to give him space. Miss Magide was furious. She told him to stop making excuses and get to the rehearsal immediately. Nouse told Anna something had come up and he had to leave. Later, Miss Magide called Nina and assured her that Nouse was on his way. She mentioned how cheerful he'd sounded recently, always on the phone talking late into the night. But Nina was confused. She said she hadn't spoken to Nouse in 2 months. There was a pause. Miss Magide hesitated, then brushed it off. Maybe he'd been talking to his cousins. That night, when Nouse got home, his mother confronted him. She accused him of abandoning Nina and letting her do all the planning alone. She warned him that if he wasn't serious, she would step in. But truth has a way of surfacing. While walking in the park, Nina's friends spotted Nouse and Anna kissing. Shocked, they called Nina. Minutes later, she showed up, angry, hurt, and ready to explode. She attacked Anna, shouting that she had stolen her man. Nouse tried to pull her off, shielding Anna from the chaos. Nina's friends dragged her away. Anna, still shaken, looked at Nouse and asked, "Who was that?" "She's nothing to me," he replied. "I'll explain later." Later, he met with Nina. She told him he'd embarrassed her in front of her friends and the entire city, but she said she would forgive him if he admitted Anna was just a fling. "It started as a fling," Nouse said, "but then I found myself in love with her." He told her he wanted to cancel the wedding. He was only marrying her to make his mother happy. The truth? They had nothing in common. Nina went upstairs in tears. Miss Magide wasted no time. She confronted her son and accused him of shaming the family. Everyone already knew about the wedding. Backing out now would ruin their name. Nouse stood his ground. He said he was tired of lying to himself. He wasn't happy. She gave him an ultimatum. If he left Nina, he would lose everything. His inheritance, his position as CEO, and even his place in the house. "I don't care," Nouse said. The next morning, Miss Magad knocked on his door. There was no answer. She entered and found the room empty. On the bed, just a letter. In it, Nouse wrote that his happiness mattered. Anna loved him, and he was willing to walk away from everything to be with her. Later that day, Miss Magide confronted Obinna in the parking lot of the company. She demanded to know who Anna was. Obinna tried to deny knowing anything, but when she threatened to fire him, he gave in and took her to Anna's office next door. Anna was called in. She greeted Miss Magid politely. Without hesitation, Miss Magid offered her $2 million to walk away from her son. "He's getting married in a few weeks," she said. "You're just a distraction." Anna was stunned. "He's getting married? We've been going on dates for 2 months." She refused the money and returned to her office, hurt and confused. That evening, Nouse confronted his mother. "Why did you go to see Anna?" he asked. "You don't have the right to interfere in my life. You don't get to choose who I spend it with." But the damage had been done. A few days later, Anna was attacked outside her office. Nina and her friends ambushed her, screaming and pulling her hair. A nearby Uber driver rushed to break up the fight and helped Anna to safety. Nouse made a firm decision. He went to Nina and warned her never to go near Anna again. For him, their relationship was over. There was no connection between them, and he couldn't see a future in that marriage. But Nina wasn't done. A few days later, she showed up at Anna's house. Anna was nervous at first, unsure of what Nina wanted. Surprisingly, Nina claimed she just wanted to talk. Then she pulled out a stunning offer, 15 million shillings. All Anna had to do was walk away from Nouse. Nina insisted it was for her own good, that Nouse's mother would never accept her. Soon after that meeting, everything changed. 2 days passed without a word from Anna. Nouse couldn't reach her. She wasn't answering calls, and she wasn't at her house. Confused and worried, he tried to stay calm until Obinna handed him a letter left on his car windshield. It was from Anna. The letter said she was ending the relationship. No explanation, just silence. Heartbroken, Nouse went home. He showed the letter to his mother and admitted defeat. He believed he had misjudged Anna completely. With tears in his eyes, he allowed himself to grieve. His mother was there to comfort him, and she welcomed him back with open arms. Later, Miss McGuide reached out to Nina. She told her the wedding could go on if she was still willing. Nina was quick to accept, saying she forgave Nouse and wanted to continue as planned. With no other choice, Nouse agreed. Nina moved back into his home. But one night, everything changed. While walking past the living room, Nouse overheard Nina on the phone with her friends. She was bragging about the upcoming wedding, saying that once she was married, she'd be entitled to everything he owned. After that, she hinted, they could move forward with whatever plan they had. Nouse didn't react immediately. He waited. When she stepped away, he picked up her phone. That moment set everything into motion. Shortly after, one of Nina's friends received a message that looked like it came from her. The message said Nouse was becoming suspicious, and they needed to move Anna to a different location quickly. The girls acted fast, relocating Anna as instructed. What they didn't realize was that Nouse had sent that message himself. He had taken Nina's phone and used it to lure them into a trap. He was already waiting at the new location, with the police. Back home, Nouse revealed the full truth to his mother. Nina had faked everything. The breakup letter, the disappearance, the bribe. It was all a setup to make Anna look like she had left him, and all of it had been about securing the wedding and getting access to his family's wealth. Miss McGuide was furious. She immediately canceled the wedding. Nina tried to defend herself, saying she had done it out of love, but it was too late. Nouse confronted her one last time. He asked her a simple question, something basic that anyone who truly cared about him would know. She couldn't answer. That moment sealed everything. Their story ended right there. Later, Miss McGuide visited Anna. This time it wasn't with anger or suspicion. It was with humility. She apologized for everything and acknowledged the pain she had caused. Anna accepted the apology with grace. There were no hard feelings. And from that moment, healing began. The bond between Nouse and Anna grew stronger, this time grounded in truth, respect, and mutual love. The storm had passed, but what remained was something real.